Most beginners don't quit jiu-jitsu because it's too hard, because it is. They quit because they don't like what jiu-jitsu does to their ego. And if you don't understand this before you start, there's a high chance you won't last very long. Let's get into it. When people sign up for jiu-jitsu, they think they're gaining confidence, discipline, self-defense, and you are eventually. But first, there's an uncomfortable process called getting smashed repeatedly. I've been through it. Every higher belt has been through it. It's just a part of the process. In those moments, you forget everything you learned even just seconds ago. You gas out, been there, and someone half your size folds you up like a pretzel and makes you feel completely helpless. So that gap between expectation and reality is where most people quit. And here's the part nobody warns you about. You're gonna feel like you suck repeatedly over and over and over again every time you get smashed. Jiu-jitsu is not like other things like weightlifting or running. If you lift weights, pretty quickly you start lifting heavier and heavier weights, right? Just like running. You run, you start to run faster, you start to run longer, you build up your cardio. Jiu-jitsu, it's not measured like that. It's measured in, I lasted 10 seconds longer this time, that's great. Or a huge milestone for most people is, I went through that whole roll and I didn't tap out and I didn't gas out. That is a huge milestone for most people. The problem is beginners don't recognize that as improvement, but it is, and your coach is seeing it. So when you think, I'm not getting any better, I really suck at this, you have to recognize that you are improving. You're just not seeing it yet in a real, tangible way. If you expect to feel good at jiu-jitsu in the first few months, that belief alone could be a reason that you quit. The harsh reality is jiu-jitsu is gonna hit your ego in a way that almost nothing else does. Maybe you're strong, maybe you're successful, and maybe you're good at a lot of things. Then you step on the mat and literally none of that matters. A lot of people will feel stuck, they'll feel controlled, they'll get submitted. I mean, that's just part of jiu-jitsu, this submission grappling. It's the feeling of going from being good at almost anything to not being good at this. For a lot of people, that feeling is just too uncomfortable. And regardless of your history, maybe you wrestled in high school, maybe you ran track, this is different. The wrestling instincts that you might have because you wrestled in high school are almost not correct. In terms of cardio, like for example, running or cycling, this is totally different. Cycling and running, you're using a few parts of your body at one time. Grappling, you might be using your entire body all at the same time. So here's the really crazy part. The people that get really good at jiu-jitsu sometimes aren't the ones that are most talented. They're just the ones that didn't quit during this losing phase. Another reason why people quit is comparison. You see someone that walked through the doors and all of a sudden they're doing better than you, but you don't know their history. Maybe they trained jiu-jitsu before and now they're coming back to it after years and they're starting all over again. They look at a person who started after them and now is better than them. They see younger, faster, more athletic people doing better than them quicker. Then they start telling themselves, maybe this just isn't for me. Maybe I'm not athletic. But jiu-jitsu isn't a race. Some people click early, some people click later. The ones who stay are the ones that stop comparing. Here's another big mistake beginners make. If you think struggling means failing in jiu-jitsu, you're completely misunderstanding the sport. Struggling in jiu-jitsu is not failure. It's part of the learning process. You're supposed to get stuck. You're supposed to get lost. You're supposed to feel like you can't get out from under this weight. But those are the times when you learn. The moment you stop taking it personally is the moment you're gonna start improving. So what's the real reason beginners quit jiu-jitsu? It's not the difficulty and it's not the pain. It's that jiu-jitsu forces you to be a beginner longer than your ego is comfortable with. But if you can get past all that, that's when everything changes. So on that note, if you're in your first few months and you feel like you suck, good. That means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So drop a comment below and let me know how far along you are in your journey, and let me know what was the hardest part of your training so far. And if you're not quitting, subscribe. You're already ahead of most people. I'm Coach Adam, and I'll see you in the next one.